Hello, my name is Chuck. Now, first, let me say I'm not that charismatic of a person, especially on video, but I do my best. Now, as far as I am, I've said a little bit, but in 2019, I had to have a couple of back surgeries, and these back surgeries left me disabled. I mean, before the first surgery, it got to the point where I couldn't walk anymore. So I had to go for that surgery. That first surgery failed. They had to take it all back out again and redo it and add some more vertebrae in there for more support. Needless to say, it all left me disabled. I worked as an industrial maintenance mechanic, which means I worked on, repaired, maintained really, really big machines. And that was my life. And it all came to a screeching halt with a few words. I'm sorry, Mr. Coots, but you're permanently disabled. And my life crumbled around me. I tried to put on a brave face, for my family and everything. I tried to just keep going, but it got to me. And I ended up falling into a really deep depression for about 5 years. I mean, it got pretty bad. I had nothing. I mean, I was a mess upstairs. I really was. And part of the reason I figured out was once I got off of the opiates that they had me on for my back pain, my outlook on life began to improve. I began to find myself more interested in things again. I mean, there's an obvious connection there. I know that opiates can bring you down and all that stuff, and I got off of all of those. I deal with a lot more pain now, and things can lay me up easier and for longer periods of time, but I'm pretty happy not to be on those drugs anymore. It really improved my state of mind, which was a big part of me taking the first steps of doing all of this. I kind of got my will to live back, and that's where I come to right now. I mean, it was tough. It was hard on me. It was hard on my family. But we managed to make it through it. And I've managed to get myself in a far better state of mind and everything, which I'll talk about as things go by. Right now, I just want to kind of say what the overall picture is. And I joined a couple of groups for disabled people trying to, handle what's going on and everything. But wow, it's pretty crazy. I actually had people try to fight me in these groups over who is more disabled. I'm like, really? I mean, disabled is disabled. I mean, your quality of life is gone. Of course, everybody does different degrees, but I mean, I don't know. That just seems like must be a pretty miserable person, and I feel sorry for him to think along those kind of lines and have that kind of mentality. But anyways, so I kind of decided I would just fit these kind of things into this YouTube channel. I mostly created this channel for my friends and family to see what I see, but anybody's welcome. I'm going to do all kinds of things. I'm just going to put my life out there. And I hope throughout all of this, I mean, I'll talk about how I dealt with things, the things I still deal with. Like, I mean, I just replaced the alternator, or working on replacing the alternator on my truck. I got it out, but after doing that work, I really couldn't move very much for a couple of days. And that's how my life goes. I can spend one day doing something, and it's going to take me 2, sometimes 3 days afterwards to recover from it. That's pretty much my life right now. But I don't think that's too bad of a ratio to get me out of the funk I was in before, because it was bad. It was not good. I'm just really glad that I'm on the road now, and I've got some toys now that are going to help me get out there. And because before all of this, I was an avid outdoorsman, and I loved to work. I loved to go mountain bike riding, motorcycle riding, be outdoors, And I spent 5 years of my life enclosed in a self-imposed prison. Don't do that. Don't do what I did, man. I'm here to tell you, if you're new to being disabled, don't let that happen. I mean, it'll take you places inside your head you don't want to go, man. And, thankfully for me, I have a good support structure that helped me get out of that. And people who understand me is more important, because the people involved in my circle, my closest circle, they understand how I am. They got to let me come to this on my own. If they try to push me into it, I'm just going to shut down. They understand me. So make sure that your support structure that you have around here actually understands you and how you're going to respond to things. I mean, I've been with the same woman for over 20 years. Believe me, she knows me. But that's what this is going to be all about, is me getting back out to life. And like I said in a little text thing, man, I really hope that anything, just a little thing that I may do that might help somebody else decide to get out there and start living again. You can do it. I mean, you may be limited, but man, you can do stuff within those limitations. And that's what my YouTube channel, the personal stuff, is about. I mean, I'm getting back out there and I'm living within my limitations. I mean, I understand that some people out there, their limitations are so severe that they can't do anything. I understand that. I mean, my videos are focused on people that are around my same kind of disability situation and everything, because I don't want to mislead people thinking they can do more than they can. This is entirely my situation. Okay? I don't want anybody getting out there and hurting themselves because they see me do something. I'm a different situation. I'm a different story than you are. We all are. We got to find our limitations, like Clint Eastwood said. Man's got to know his limitations. That is such a true saying, and it goes for women too, of course. Once you figure out what those limitations are, you can find things to do within those limitations. I may not be able to go out there and climb around on a 5-story molding machine 10 hours every day anymore, but I can still get out there and I can fix small things on my truck. I can work on the motorcycle. I can still get out there and do things, but I had given up. I didn't try to get outside and do any of those things. And it was bad. But anyways, we're not here to look back. We're here to look forward. Get back out to living. I'll talk about things, but most of all of my focus is forward. I spend enough time looking back and enough time stagnating. It's time to get out there and live again within my limitations. And as I said, this is mostly a channel for my family and friends, but anybody. I mean, if you like to just see scenery, if you got a vehicle like mine or something that I do some repairs on, maybe I can show you an easier way of doing it or something. You never know. I mean, I'm going to put all kinds of stuff out there. We'll see where it goes. But that's pretty much my story up to this point. There's a lot of way more in-depth things, but that's not going to be put on this channel. If you want to get deeper into that with me, let's find out a way to do it in a conversation that's not on the YouTube channel. I also have a Facebook group called My Wisconsin, and that's where I do most of my I put pictures on there, and that's what I only do this stuff during the summer because of my limitations. During the winter, I put things on that Facebook group page, pictures, things like that. I didn't get out much this last winter because I'm figuring out that being out in the cold air, I also have COPD, and being out in that cold air, breathing it for too long throws me into bad coughing fits. So I have to be aware of that too. It's hard to get out there and enjoy yourself when you're coughing your lungs up, because of the cold air. But last year was a test for me to kind of feel things out. This year I'm going to try to build a more solid channel and make some things happen. I'm going to get out there and live again. Why don't you come with me?